Hey Transcenders, today I want to talk to you about the three lies of learning. Currently, I'm reading a book called Limitless by Jim Quick, and he touches upon the lies of learning. And lie actually is an acronym for limited ideas entertained. And when we talk about limiting ideas, we also have to quickly and briefly touch upon limiting beliefs. Most often, we pick up limiting beliefs in our childhood. And if you think about a child, they're very impressionable. They're just like a sponge where they just soak everything up and absorb everything from their environment. They observe everyone's movements, the things that they do, and along the way, they build their own belief systems. And these belief systems, in certain ways, could be things that are beneficial for them, also things that hold them back, like the limiting beliefs. And the limiting beliefs are holding all of us back from our true potential and becoming the best version of ourselves. So we'll talk about those lies and also the new belief that we should incorporate into our belief system. And number one is intelligence is fixed. If you've ever been to school, or if you're in school right now, you'll see that certain people are more inclined in academics, and then you'll have your average students, and then you will have your underperformers. And we usually tie the intelligence into academics in the schooling system. So you look at these people that are doing really well with their studies, and we'll call them intelligent. But intelligence is a connection of multiple things, such as attitude and persistence, consistency, and it really depends on the context, right? If we're looking at only IQ test scores to kind of see what the intelligence levels look like, then, you might not be on the best spectrum or the highest spectrum of it, but your attitude, your work ethic, and including the context of it truly helps with your intelligence levels. And a very famous psychologist, Carol Dweck, a psychologist and professor in Stanford University, they have observations and studies around this, and they see that students that have growth mindsets perform better and learn quicker, and they have a better information retention when they are thinking that they can learn more and become better and become more intelligent along the way, just by trying and doing the necessary work to increase their intelligence in the field that they're working in. And it's not as linear as we think it is. So when we think about intelligence as fixed, it's a complete lie. And we have to look at multiple scenarios. And just to give you an example, I wasn't always a academically inclined person. And that was my limiting belief about myself, right? Growing up in primary school, in middle school, high school, and I always didn't think I was academically inclined. But I came to a point where I had to disprove myself and actually give it a shot at doing my best in learning all the content and all the courses that I need to learn and perform at the highest level. And what I figured out was that just by believing that I can get to a level and knowing that I can increase my intelligence, I came to a point where I was doing really well in my academics, got into a really good school, and uh, got one of the best, got into one of the best programs and finished that. So it was definitely a great achievement in my life. But this is just to tell you that just because something wasn't working or that you didn't feel intelligent or someone told you that you weren't intelligent doesn't mean that it has to stay there. Your attitude, your work ethic will truly figure out or truly determine where you're going. So intelligence is not fixed, it is fluid. And when I say intelligence is fluid, it can go either way, right? You can either increase your intelligence, or if you don't work on yourself, on your growth, then it can also decline. And number two is mistakes are failures. When you think about starting up on anything in life, we're always going to make mistakes. Or having an idea that you're not going to make a mistake is not realistic. Let's say you want to start reading faster. At first, if you don't do a lot of reading, it's going to be really hard for you to go through a book really fast and actually have a retention of that information. But the more you practice and the more you stay consistent with it, you are going to get faster and faster and come to a place where you can actually hold on to that information as well, as much as of it is relevant to you. So mistakes are always going to happen with everything that we try. If we're shooting for greatness, mistakes are inevitable. If you think about, let's say, Michael Jordan, that is arguably one of the best players, if not the best basketball player of all time. If he didn't take those buzzer beater shots, and buzzer beater shots are, let's say, just to give you an example, if the score is a tie and you have to break that tie, and the game's about to end, and this person, let's say Michael Jordan in this case, is responsible for taking the last shot to either win the game or for it to go either overtime or to lose. So they're given this opportunity of taking the last shot. And if we look at the statistics, he has missed more than half of those last shots that are super important for, let's say, a championship. But if Michael Jordan, in his mind, said that he didn't want to do any mistakes and didn't take any of those last-minute shots or take that responsibility, he might have not been the greatest player of all time. But when we think about responsibility and him getting to that greatness, we have to think about the belief system that he was okay with making mistakes. And when we look back at Michael Jordan's career, we never see it as a failure. We don't look at the missed shots that he had. We look so more for the shots that he made. And so just to give you an example, with anything that you try to do in life or achieve greatness, you are going to make mistakes along the way. But these are not failures. And it really depends on your mindset and how you want to see these. So the new belief that we want to ingrain in ourselves is there's no such thing as failure. Only failure to learn. So along the way, if you make mistakes, it is going to happen. But try to learn from your mistakes and not do them again or next time that you try it. And last but not least, number 3 is the criticism of other people. In certain ways, criticism of other people is none of our business. Never take someone seriously in terms of if they don't know you and they just criticize everything that you do. And it's easier said than done, but we shouldn't be even bothered by it because they don't know you, they don't know your character, who you are, and where you're from, anything about you, but they have an opinion on you. And they're more than welcome to have an opinion, but it shouldn't affect your day-to-day life or how you move forward with your goals and your dreams. And in every scenario, anything that you do really, there are always going to be haters, there are always going to be people that criticize you, the way that you do things that they don't like, and have an opinion. And it's not necessarily a wrong thing, right? Everyone can have their own opinions, but it shouldn't affect you, is what I'm trying to say. And the part to look at this is, if you were to look at every single criticism that is thrown at you, then it's so hard for you to move forward because you'll be stuck in that negative bias, right? So you have to also keep that in mind, that there is a negativity bias where you can have hundreds beautiful, great comments, but you'll see that one negative comment on, let's say, one of your videos, and it'll just be stuck in your head and get to you. But just to think about in a holistic level, this should never stop you from doing anything. And the only criticism you should get is constructive criticism, right? If someone is truly trying to help you, let's say you have a few mentors and they give you advice on certain things, how to do things better, and they're truly constructive, then yeah, definitely take them into consideration. But people that you don't know, don't even bother, don't spend your energy on the negativity. Just keep doing you and try to do better and better. And the new belief system in this one is, it's not your job to like, love, or respect me. It's mine. So as long as you love yourself and respect yourself, the things that you're doing, and they're congruent with what you want to do, then it's no one else's business. And it's truly just, the important part is that you believe that yourself and you are congruent and aligned with yourself. So these were the 3 most important lies that I picked up from the book Limitless by Jim Quick. I definitely recommend it. And it's a great reminder to see that learning is not limited to, intelligence, the mistakes that we make, and the criticism that we take other people. It's more so our mindset and the way that we want to believe, or what we want to believe. So thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I hope these were useful and beneficial for you. And think about the ways that you can use these and incorporate these in your life. Look at the lies that you've been told and see if you can change them, and look into ways to changing them. Again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video.